Hello, my name is Jordan Reynolds and you're watching Sporting Icons.
So the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury, has challenged Anthony Joshua to the undisputed fight in December. If, of course, they can't get the Deontay Wilder fight over the line anytime soon. Now, we're going to start off with the Deontay Wilder situation first, and then we'll break down the Anthony Joshua possibilities. Now, going by what Tyson Fury, Frank Warren and Bob Arum have been saying, what they want is Fury versus Wilder, the third fight, with a crowd. And if necessary, then they'll go abroad, because what they really want ideally is for a Las Vegas fight again. But if they can't, then maybe move it abroad. Now, quite what's happening the PBC end, as in Deontay Wilder's side, no idea. Have they even been offered any kind of date or venue or anything? And maybe Fury is waiting on a reply. We don't know. But I mean, for me, and I'm sure for a lot of you guys, you probably agree that this fight being held up because of a crowd, is it really that big of a deal? In some ways, of course, it's all going to be extra revenue in the pot. Is that my problem? Is that your problem? No, not really, how much these guys are earning. But ultimately, it's not really going to be the kind of fight where you're going to sell out its capacity. And that's just being honest about it. And I'd love to be wrong on that one. I'd love people to go and obviously support Tyson Fury and what have you. But the truth is, going by what a lot of you guys have been saying, people don't really feel a need, a necessity to see a third fight. We've seen these two guys fight twice already. We know Tyson Fury won both of the fights. The first one, he got screwed to a draw. That's the consensus for most people, right? And he comprehensively battered Wilder in the second fight. So do we really need to see a third one? Most people will probably say no, because what chance would you really give Wilder anyway, outside of a puncher's chance? Not much. But as far as the crowd is concerned, with hopefully, and it is hopefully, we're coming out of the pandemic and things are starting to settle down now, where there's far less risk going on in the world. Who knows? Okay, I'm not an expert on this situation. But how many people are actually going to be comfortable anyway to go to a maximised event? Probably not too many. A lot of people are not going to feel confident about going and mixing it with the crowds. Of course, some people will be, but I think the majority of people not too comfortable about it whatsoever. So when you throw in the fact that people might be a little bit apprehensive about going to a live event because of the whole pandemic, and for the fact that it's not really the kind of fight that people want to see again for a third time, I'm not too sure how much the gate is really going to make, and why hold up the heavyweight division because of that one fight, right? Anyway, it's what it is. So if they can't, and Wilder, for whatever reason, is not going to fight Fury in December, Fury, he wants a fight in December anyway. Now, we do know that the Wilder Fury, they're trying to get it for December the 19th, okay? But if they can't, Fury, he said, why not Joshua? Let's get it done now. And I think most people will probably agree with that. If you can get it done now, get it done now. Now, we know that Joshua, of course, he's still got that situation with Kubrat Pulev. Again, similar kind of situation where it's a ordered fight. Although the Wilder Fury one, of course, is a contractual rematch. So that's between them. It's got nothing to do with the WBC or the boxing world. This is just a contract between two parties. But with Joshua, it's a mandated fight. Fight Pulev or get stripped of your IBF world title. Quite what the consequences would be for Fury and Wilder if that fight didn't happen, I don't know. But all that aside, I would imagine that they'd probably move heaven and hell to get that fight on if they could for December. And that would kind of like put a very, very solid end to a very turbulent year, wouldn't it? If these guys can get it on in December. But as far as Joshua and Pulev needing a crowd as well, again, come on guys, let's not be greedy about it. It's not going to be a mega fight. Yes, it's Joshua, of course, and he's always going to do well. But with the revenue that, say, a Joshua would do on pay-per-view, and it doesn't matter who he fights, do you really need the gate? I mean, listen, I know it's business and everything, and it's not my money to say, how dare you demand that extra couple of million on the gate? It is what it is. But ultimately, people would love to see Fury versus Joshua. Now, I know Fury, he did say, well, if I can't get Wilder, if I can't get Joshua, well, why not Povetkin? He's my mandatory. So a slight correction on that one. Povetkin is not his mandatory. Okay, he's not. He's the interim champion. And if Fury wants to do a voluntary defense, Maybe that's something that they could work out, which kind of annoys me a little bit, because when it came to Dillian White, no, I'm not fighting him. If necessary, vacate the belt. This is coming from Fury, and certainly more so Frank Warren and Bob Arum. Why should Fury have to go fight White? But suddenly Povetkin defeats White. Okay, let's talk about a Povetkin fight potentially. That annoys me a little bit. But either way, if they can try and get Fury and Joshua on December, as I said, that would be a very, very good end to the year. As to who would win that one, to be honest with you, I couldn't care less who wins that fight. I don't know either guy. I've never spoken to either of them, so I don't have a horse in the race. I like both of them. I'm always on tenterhooks each time that these guys fight, so put them in the ring. It's going to be very, very interesting watch. But would Eddie Hearn, would Joshua, would they be up for a December fight? Could they convince Kubrat Pulev to step aside? Would Bob Arum want Kubrat Pulev to step aside? Because again, that's one of the other things that kind of annoyed me a little bit about the Dillian White situation, is that Bob Arum was saying how Fury, he shouldn't have to fight, is mandatory in Dillian White. But yet he's not holding that same energy with his fighter, Kubrat Pulev, who's mandated to fight Anthony Joshua. There's a lot of two-facedness going on in boxing, people. There really is. Anyway, we'll have to watch this space, see what happens. Drop your thoughts below about it. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all in the next video.